Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. Have you ever seen small, strange shapes moving in front of your eyes? Perhaps you have seen tiny spots that look like dust. Maybe you have noticed thin lines that look like threads or even small, wavy shapes like tiny worms. These shapes seem to float and drift. They move slowly when you look straight ahead. But if you try to look directly at them, they quickly move away. It is like they are playing a game of hide-and-seek with your eyes. You might see these shapes more clearly at certain times. For example, have you ever looked up at a bright, clear blue sky? Or maybe you have looked at a white wall or a blank computer screen. When the background is very bright and plain, these little shapes become much easier to see. They stand out against the light. Sometimes they look like small, dark specks. Other times they can look like long, thin strings or even like a tiny spider web. Many people see these shapes. They are very common. You might have wondered what they are. Are they real things floating in the air? Are they something on your eyelashes or glasses? Or are they something inside your eye? These mysterious shapes are called eye floaters. In this chapter, we will begin to learn about these common things. We will find out what eye floaters are. We will explore why they appear in our vision. We will also learn when they are normal and when they might be a sign of something important. Understanding eye floaters can help us feel less confused when we see them. It can also help us take better care of our eyes. Get ready to learn about these interesting little visitors in your vision. 2. Inside your eye. Your eye is an amazing part of your body. It helps you see the world around you every day. To understand those little floaty shapes that you sometimes notice, we first need to take a simple trip inside your eye. You can think of your eye like a very special camera. It works to take pictures of everything you see and then sends these pictures as signals to your brain. At the very front of your eye, there is a dark circle called the pupil. This pupil is like the opening of a camera where light first enters. Behind the pupil, there is a clear part called the lens. The lens is very important because it helps to focus the light. It makes sure that the light lands clearly and sharply on the very back of your eye. The back of your eye has a special layer called the retina. The retina is like the film or the digital sensor inside a camera. It is the part that actually takes the picture. When light hits the retina, special cells there send electrical signals. Your brain then receives these signals and turns them into the clear images that you see. So in simple terms, your eye collects the light and your brain makes sense of it all. Now let's talk about the biggest part inside your eye. Most of your eyeball is filled with a clear, jelly-like substance. This special gel is called the vitreous. It is very important because it helps your eye keep its round shape, just like air fills a balloon. Imagine a clear, soft jelly filling a big, round ball. That is a bit like the vitreous inside your eye. It is mostly made of water, but it also has tiny, fine fibers that give it a slightly thick texture, like a very soft jelly. Because it is clear, light can pass through it easily to reach the retina at the back. This clear gel is essential for good vision. It allows light to travel from the front of your eye all the way to the back where the retina is, without anything blocking the view. The vitreous gel fills the large space between your lens at the front and your retina at the back. It helps support the delicate structure of your eye and keeps the retina in its correct place. Without this clear gel, your eye would not be able to work properly, and your vision would be blurry or unclear. It is a vital part of your vision system, allowing light to move freely and clearly, just like looking through a clean window. Every time you look at something, light passes through this clear, jelly-like substance before it reaches the part of your eye that makes the picture. 3. Making the shadows. In the last chapter, we learned about the clear gel inside your eye. This is called the vitreous. Now, let's understand what those little shapes really are. When you see a floater, you are not seeing something on the outside of your eye. You are also not seeing something directly on the surface of your eye. Instead, you are seeing something much deeper inside your eye. It is all happening within the eye itself. The floaters are actually very tiny pieces or clumps. These pieces are made of the same clear gel that fills your eye, the vitreous. Sometimes small parts of this gel can come together. They can form little groups like tiny knots or threads, or they might be very small, old cells that are also floating in the gel. These clumps are very, very small, often smaller than the tip of a pencil. They are too tiny for you to see them directly as solid objects. So, how do you see them if they are so small and clear? Imagine a bright light shining into a dark room. If there is dust floating in the air, the light hits the dust. When the light hits the dust, it makes a shadow on the wall. You see the shadow, not the tiny piece of dust itself. It is a very similar process inside your eye. Light enters your eye from the world around you. It travels through the clear front part of your eye and then into the clear vitreous gel. As the light moves through this gel, it reaches these tiny clumps of gel or cells. When the light hits a clump, the light cannot pass through it perfectly. This creates a tiny, faint shadow. These tiny shadows then fall onto the retina. The retina is a special layer at the very back of your eye. Think of the retina like a movie screen inside your eye. Your retina takes the images of these shadows and sends signals to your brain. Your brain then sees these shadows. So what you think is a small spot, a thread, or a squiggly line moving in front of your vision is actually a shadow. It is a shadow made by a tiny, almost invisible piece floating inside the clear gel of your eye. This explains why floaters seem to move away when you try to look directly at them. The clumps are not stuck in one place. They are floating freely in the gel. When your eye moves, the gel moves a little and the clumps move with it. This causes their shadows to shift on your retina. They are not fixed objects on what you are looking at. They are inside your eye, drifting along. Understanding this helps us know that floaters are a normal and common part of how our amazing eyes work. They are just little shadows dancing on our internal screen. 4. Why we get floaters. So, we know what floaters are and that they are tiny shadows, but why do we get them? What makes these small shapes appear in our eyes? The most common reason for floaters is very natural. It is part of how our eyes change over time. Think about the clear gel inside your eye, the vitreous. When we are young, this gel is thick and smooth. It fills the back part of our eye, helping it keep its round shape. As people get older, this gel starts to change. This is a normal part of aging, like hair turning gray. The vitreous gel does not stay perfectly smooth forever. It can become a little more liquid. Small parts of the gel can pull away or clump together. Imagine a jelly breaking into tiny pieces. These tiny pieces become floaters. They are the small bits of gel we see as shadows. This process happens to almost everyone as they age. It often starts when people are in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. Some people might notice floaters earlier or later. It is a slow change inside the eye. The gel can separate from the back wall of the eye. This creates new floaters. This common change is called a posterior vitreous detachment, or PVD. It means the gel is moving away from the retina. This is usually harmless. Another reason some people get more floaters is if they are very nearsighted. Nearsighted means you see things clearly close up, but far away things look blurry. If you wear glasses for faraway vision, you might be nearsighted. Very nearsighted people often have longer eyeballs. Because the eye's shape is different, the vitreous gel inside can change more quickly. This can make them see floaters at a younger age or have more of them. So for most people, floaters are just a sign of a normal, natural change happening inside their eyes as they get older. It is usually not something to worry about. It is simply the clear gel changing its form a little. It is part of how our amazing bodies work and change over time. 5. Floaters for young people. You might think that floaters only happen to older people. But this is not always true. Young people, including children and teenagers, can also see these little spots or lines in their vision. It is very common for eyes of all ages to have floaters. Even though your eyes are young and healthy, the clear, jelly-like gel inside them, called the vitreous, can still have tiny changes. Sometimes, very small pieces of this gel can pull away or clump together. These tiny pieces are what make the shadows you see as floaters. This can happen at any age, not just when your eyes get older. It is often just a normal part of how your eye is made. One reason why some young people might see new floaters is because of an eye injury. If you accidentally get hit in the eye, or if something bumps your eye, it can sometimes cause new floaters to appear. This is why it is always important to protect your eyes, especially when you are playing sports or doing activities where your eyes could get hurt. Wearing special eye protection, like safety glasses or goggles, can help keep your eyes safe from harm. However, most of the time, floaters in young people are not caused by an injury. They are simply a normal part of how healthy eyes work. Many children and teenagers have floaters, and they are usually harmless. Your brain is very smart. It learns to ignore these small shadows over time, so you might not even notice them after a while. So if you see floaters, there is usually no need to worry. For most children and teenagers, these small shapes are a very normal thing to experience. They are just tiny shadows from inside your amazing eyes. It is common, and many other young people have them too, even if they do not talk about it. Understanding that floaters can happen at any age helps us to know that our eyes are just doing what they do, and usually everything is perfectly fine. 6. Are floaters bad? Many people who see floaters ask, "Are these bad for my eyes?" This is a very good question. The good news is that for most people, eye floaters are not bad at all. They are usually a normal part of how our eyes work. You do not need to worry about them most of the time. Remember, floaters are just tiny shadows. These shadows are made by small pieces of the clear gel inside your eye. These small pieces do not hurt your eye. They just float around and make shadows when light enters. Your brain is very smart. When you first see floaters, they might seem strange, but after some time, your brain learns to ignore them. It is like when you wear a new hat. At first, you might feel it on your head a lot, but after a while, you forget you are wearing it. Your brain does the same thing with floaters. It understands they are not important, so it stops paying attention to them. This means that even if you have floaters, you might not notice them very often. Sometimes, a floater might seem to get in the way of what you are trying to see. For example, if you are reading a book, a floater might seem to sit right on the words. This can be a little annoying. But there is a simple trick you can try. If a floater is bothering you, try moving your eyes quickly. Look up, then down, then perhaps left and right. When you move your eyes, the clear gel inside your eye also moves. This can make the floater move to a different place. Often, it will move out of your direct line of sight. Then you can see clearly again. So, to answer the question, most floaters are not bad. They are a common and normal part of having eyes. Your brain helps you to not see them all the time, and if one does bother you, you can often move it with a simple eye trick. It is important to remember that for most people, floaters are just shadows. They do not mean your eyes are sick or that your vision is in danger. They are just there. 7. When to see a doctor. Most of the time, the small shapes you see floating in your eye are normal. They are not a problem for your vision. Your brain learns to ignore them and they often become less noticeable. However, sometimes floaters can be a sign of a more serious issue. It is very important to know when to ask for help. One very important sign to watch for is a sudden change. If you suddenly see many new floaters, this is a reason to talk to an adult or a doctor right away. This means you might see 10, 20, or even more new spots or lines that were not there before. They might appear all at once, like a cloud of small shapes. Another serious sign is seeing flashes of light. These flashes can look like lightning or bright camera flashes. They might appear in the corner of your eye or across your vision. If you see these flashes, especially if they happen at the same time as new floaters, you should tell someone immediately. These flashes are not the same as light reflecting off water or glass. They come from inside your eye. A third warning sign is a dark shadow. This shadow might look like a curtain or a veil that blocks part of your vision. It could appear slowly or very quickly. It might cover the top, bottom, or side of your sight. If you notice a dark area that does not go away, this is a serious sign. It means you need to see an eye doctor quickly. These serious signs, many new floaters, flashes of light, or a dark shadow, could mean there is a problem at the back of your eye. Sometimes, the gel inside your eye can pull too hard on the retina. The retina is like the screen at the back of your eye that helps you see. If the retina is pulled too hard, it can tear. A torn retina is a serious condition that needs fast medical care. If it is not treated, it can lead to problems with your vision. It is always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to your eyes. If you experience any of these sudden changes, do not wait. Tell a parent, a teacher, or another trusted adult. They can help you see an eye doctor. An eye doctor can look inside your eye and tell you if everything is okay or if you need treatment. Remember, your eyes are very important. Taking care of them means paying attention to any new or strange changes you notice. 8. A quick look back. we have learned much about the strange shapes we sometimes see. We started by noticing little spots or lines in our vision. These eye floaters are often most visible when looking at a bright sky or a white wall. We took a simple trip inside your amazing eye. We learned that the eye has a clear, jelly-like substance called the vitreous gel. This gel helps your eye keep its shape. Then we found out what floaters really are. They are tiny pieces or clumps inside this vitreous gel. When light enters your eye, these small clumps make shadows. You see these shadows moving around. This is the science behind them. We also discussed why people get floaters. For many, it is a normal part of getting older. The gel inside the eye can change, forming these small clumps. People who are very nearsighted might see more floaters. Sometimes an eye injury can cause them too, even in young people. We learned that floaters are usually nothing to worry about at any age. A big question was, are floaters bad? Most of the time, the answer is no. Eye floaters are usually harmless. Your brain is smart. It learns to ignore these small shadows, so you might not notice them after a while. If a floater bothers you, looking up and down can sometimes move it. However, we also learned about important warning signs. It is very important to tell an adult or a doctor if you suddenly see many new floaters. This means a lot more than usual, appearing all at once. Other serious signs include seeing flashes of light, or if a dark shadow appears like a curtain blocking part of your vision. These signs mean you should get help right away. In short, eye floaters are shadows from tiny pieces inside the clear gel of your eye. They are usually normal, but remember, your eyes are very important. It is always a good idea to watch for any changes. Take good care of your amazing eyes, and they will help you see the world clearly for many years.